Evaluations. In his speech tonight, Derrek will give a pragmatic approach to giving speech evaluations. Out of the Speaking to Inform manual, please welcome Derrek with Giving Evaluations That Matter. Jeremy had the perfect date planned. He borrowed a canoe. He had a pond on the outskirts of town in mind. He was going to take Jennifer on their third date. They're out there in the middle of the lake. He pulled out his journal, of which he proceeded to elaborate on no less than 10 pages of his entire dating plan and theory for Jennifer. Fast forward a couple of years into the breakup, it was an okay breakup. It was a good conversation, but it was a conversation that allowed feedback. And one of the pieces of feedback that Jennifer gave Jeremy was, on your third date, don't elaborate 3 hours worth of your dating theory and your plans for the relationship. Just let it flow. And if you do it, don't do it in the middle of a lake in a canoe where the poor girl can't run away. But Jeremy learned an important piece in that relationship, in that breakup conversation, and that was feedback. He used that piece of feedback in later relationships. He didn't make the same mistake. Just like in our speeches and in life, when we have opportunities to get feedback and critique, we should welcome it. I have a handout here. Tonight, I want to get into the nuts and bolts of giving an evaluation of our speeches at Toastmasters. I have 4 styles that I broke out on this handout. The first one is the sandwich approach. With the sandwich, you may have seen it done here at Toastmasters, but you start with a positive. What did the person do that was exceptionally well? You start out with the positive. You insert your critique in the middle, something that you work on, and then you end your evaluation with another positive. That's a sandwich technique. You can throw in fries optionally. The second one, which Jack uses a lot, is the how I saw you, how I heard you, and what I felt. And in this technique, you comment on content and delivery in each of those areas. So, how I saw you. That's the visual. Did the person move around the room? How were their gestures? The facial expressions, eye contact, how I heard you. That's speech content. Did they use pauses? Was their speech well crafted? Did it flow? Did it have an intro, a body, and a conclusion? And then how I heard, or how I felt you. That's the emotional part of the speech, because we're all here to engage. And we're all human beings, and we have emotions and feelings. And we want to comment on, was the message felt? The third speech evaluation style, not to give some credit to Mary, I call it the competition method, because Mary uses it in the speech evaluation contest. And I was intrigued when Mary first had a sheet of paper. She drew 4 boxes, but she's got something going on there. So then I asked her about it. In this method, you draw 4 squares. And in one box you have a minus sign, one box you have a plus sign. And in those respective boxes, you write in what you did not like about the speech and what you did like about the speech. And then one box you draw a heart. That's what you love about the speaker's speech. Then when the speech is done, you generally have 5 to 10 minutes to write your evaluation speech. and you use A, B, C to categorize each of those boxes so you can formulate your evaluation speech. You use your remaining box to craft your conclusion and organize your evaluation speech. Because in the contest, your evaluation is the speech itself. It should have a clear intro and conclusion and the body. And fourth style that you can give, and this is, we all can do this. This is if you have no other choices, you can recap the speaker's speech from reading the questions in the back of the manual. Every manual and every speech have a guide of what the speech objectives are and how the speaker should be evaluated. So you can just go question by question and evaluate the speaker that way. Next, I have some evaluation tips here at the bottom of the page. I'm not going to go through each one of those, but that's a few areas that you can also comment on. One is a comment on annoyances. If it annoys you, it probably annoys somebody else too. I've had a couple of people comment on something like, Derrek, this really bothered me about it. And it would probably bother you too. You should go check out the video online the next day. And I was like, really? So I went and did. I was like, yeah, that bothered me too. I'm like, man, I can't watch this whole speech. I'm annoying myself. Next is ask effective questions. That is one area that really hits home for me. When an evaluator comes and says, Derrek, when you did this in your speech, or when you said this in your speech, it really made me feel this way. Or it communicated to me that you meant this. Is that what you really meant? And asking those questions can really draw out an evaluation. Lastly, I like this point, use the conclusion to motivate. In Rocky, in sports, in the NFL, at the end, the coach is always motivating and building up the player. They might say, hey, we need to do better on defense. But at the end, they're like, we can do this. We're a team. We can get on the field and give it our all. That's what you should do at the end of your evaluation to the speaker, is motivate. Giving feedback can be intimidating, especially if somebody really botched their speech or have a lot of things to work on. But just like a bodybuilder doesn't get better by eating a bunch of sugar, we don't get better if everything's sugar-coated. So try to give at least some points of evaluation, and if it's truthful and said with grace, it can be well received. So hopefully you can all be better evaluators.